You are listening to the Andrew and Troy Show.
Andrew, I am so super excited for this next guest on the phone. He is a man of stage, of film, of TV. He's also a singer.
Yeah.
His name? Craig Mclachlan. Craig, how are you, my beautiful friend?
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to employ you two as my personal publicist. What a wonderful rap.
Look, I think we're available.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, I'm just so impressed with myself.
Well, you should be. Your career has spanned, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's a good thing, decades. You've been, you were part of the Australian culture, and not only Australian, but the UK culture. You're big here, you're big there, you're big everywhere.
When you say I'm big everywhere, you've heard the rumours, haven't you?
I have, Craig. That's why I'm buttering you up. Not sure what your wife would think about that, but
Wouldn't be the first time I've been buttered up, I can tell you.
Should we ask? Is this an exclusive?
We may have. Let's go with this one.
Have you played for both teams, Mr. Mclachlan?
Listen, I've got to be very careful what I say and what I don't say today.
I'm trying to get an exclusive, Craig. I'm trying to get an exclusive.
Okay, the first time I was buttered up, it was a little club in Berlin. But anyway, look, it's a long story. We'll have to save it for another time.
I think so. We'll get you back on to talk about that one. But the reason why I'm a little bit tongue-tied with that, reason why we do have you on the show today is to talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's on stage in Sydney. Andrew and I are so super excited to go and see it. We've got our tickets to go.
We do.
I think soon. I'm not quite sure. Andrew looks after my diary. But it's a little bit different from the TV show you've just you've been doing, which, Dr. Black from the Mysteries. How do you get yourself ready for the role as Frankenfurter?
It's interesting, isn't it? The two doctors in my life, Blake and Frank, couldn't be more different. Interestingly enough, someone asked me that very question the other day, Troy, about getting your head from... Certainly, when we kicked off the first half of the Rocky tour in Brisbane, January of last year, when rehearsals kicked off, I literally finished filming Dr. Blake on a Friday, first week of December, drove up to Sydney and walked into the Rocky rehearsal room on the Monday morning. So can you imagine, from an actor's point of view, the last thing you say as Dr. Blake is something like, yes, multiple contusions and abrasions. The cause of death appears to be a single blow administered to the base of the cranium, a blow delivered with sufficient force to sever the spinal cord, into, enchanté, what charming underclothes you both have. The interesting thing about that too was I tend to pack on a few pounds to play Dr. Blake.
Yeah.
And of course, playing Frank, it needs to be a bitch hip free zone. You don't want those, you don't want the extra pounds.
No, especially the gear.
Listen, the killer for me more than anything else was just, dropping the weight in next to no time. But boys, it's such a joy. It's the one job. I did it when I was a kid in my early mid-20s in a fabulous production with Gina Riley and Peter Rosethorn and a bunch of great people, Alyssa Jane Cook. And it's the one thing that I thought, do you know what, before gravity has its wicked way with my derriere, while I can still look halfway decent in the gear, I'd love to do it one last time. And we've had such a great time. It has been such a blast. In fact, playing Frank in my late 40s, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm having more fun with the show now than I did back then.
Yeah.
It's just a joy.
Are you comfortable doing drag?
Please, if you look up the Celtic origins of the name McLachlan, bear in mind that back in Scotland, the spelling Mclachlan is pronounced Mclachlan. And the Celtic origins of that, if you look it up, Mclachlan actually means, gosh, doesn't he look good in heels?
Roll suits. It's
like your dream job. God, Mclachlan.
Listen.
Could you imagine that being said by everyone?
Some would suggest I'm a little too comfortable.
Really? And what's it like? what's it like working with Bert?
Oh, what a doll! And for me, and I'm sure Bert will be fine with me saying this, but I grew up in a household. I grew up in a pre-internet world where television was king in the home, and the king of television. Well, you had Graham Kennedy and you had Bert Newton, and I grew up just loving those guys. And for me as a kid, starting out on telly, with my kid sister Kylie and on-screen hubby Jason, and we were all in our late teens. I was maybe 20, I think, when we started on Neighbours all those years ago.
Wow.
And I can remember going to my first Logies. And again, this is pre-mobile phone. This is, pre-internet. And I can remember running out of the main function room to get on a payphone to ring my family and go, I just saw Bert Newton. Get the next table. I'll call you back in the next ad break. I'd run back inside, and then the next ad break I'd run out and go, you're not going to believe this. I just saw Ernie Sigley and Don Lane.
Wow.
So over the years, particularly when Bert had his morning chit-chat show on Channel 10, whenever I was back from London, Bert would invite me onto the show, and we'd have a chat, and so we formed a lovely friendship over the years. So to be here in Australia doing my all-time favourite stage show, and to have Bert playing the narrator, for me, it's a bit of a thrill. I don't mind saying, and the great part for me too is, apart from Bert coming out on stage and delivering a great narrator every night, what I love is, knocking on his dressing room door, going in there and just, having him tell me these great showbiz stories of, the kinds of mad things he and Graham Kennedy and Don and all those guys got up to back in the day. He's just, legend gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, but he deserves that title.
But he really is, boys. He's just such a doll.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the internet, we thought we'd get you to play a little bit of a game. There's all these online quizzes that you can do, and I thought through this interview we'd do one of the quizzes that I found online, which is, what character would you be from the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Are you ready to play, Craig?
Please, bring it on.
Let's find out. I'll ask you a question and give you multiple choice answers, and you just select one of the answers, and we'll see which Rocky Horror character you should be. So how much of a Rocky Horror fan are you? Is it never seen it, I've seen it once or twice, seen it 3 times or more, know the lyrics and callbacks, and acted in a live performance?
I have to tell you honestly, I've never seen the show, never heard the music. Of course, that is a complete Pinocchio move on my part. I've seen it more times than I can count. So I am a tragic.
All right, so we'll put down acted in a live performance because, funnily enough, that's what you do.
Yeah, isn't that kooky?
Question number 2, what is your favourite candy or sweet or lolly? None, chocolate, sweet candies, hard candies, gummy bears, or sour candies? Lollies. This is obviously American quiz.
Well, what a curious question. In all the years that I've had the pleasure of being interviewed by folks, I've never been asked a lolly question. But listen, those who know me will tell you, boys, that I've got a sweet tooth, for better or worse. I do love my chocolate, but listen, not just snobby chocolate.
Yeah,
it's got to be the really sweet, shitty stuff. and in fact, if we were conducting this interview today in my dressing room, you would see bags of. I won't mention the brand name because why should we? They're not giving us any free. But there's always packets of sweet lollies in my
Wow.
dressing room.
But
Not the sours.
Yeah.
No, we don't do sour.
Just a little bit of personal advice. That's not going to help with the losing weight, Craig. Just quietly.
Well, you know, life's all about balance, isn't it, boys? So I figure if I'm sweating up a storm in my heels every night,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
you know,
very
I
true.
hit the gym every day to keep the bitch hips at bay, I can get away with a couple of lollies.
True. All right, next question. What rock anthem do you identify the most with? You don't listen to rock? Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd? For Those About to Rock by AC/DC? Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones? Hey Jude, the Beatles? Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin? Or Iron Man by Black Sabbath?
Oh my God, boys!
I don't know half these
Oh
things.
my God, there's just nothing from Donna Summer in that lot.
Look, I know. The closest thing we've got is the Beatles. That's the only thing.
Oh my God. Well, listen. I think I'm going to have to wave the flag for Akadaka and go
Beautiful.
for Those About to Rock.
Beautiful. All right, Akadaka it is. Do you know that 70s show that was the American TV show, That 70s Show?
Yeah.
Which character do you think you relate most to? Jackie, Kelso, Hyde, Donna, Eric, Fez, or Red?
Oh, Donna.
Donna.
You're asking a guy who's playing Frankenfurter in a horror show. Of course, it's got to be Donna.
What role do you play in your friend group, Craig? The shy one? The responsible one? The spontaneous one? The romantic one? The smart one? The creative one? The oddball? Or the attractive one?
Well, now there are so many answers to that question. Look, clearly I want to say the creative one,
Yes.
but at the same time, you know, I want to be saying the smart one.
That's true.
But listen, let's go with the romantic
The
one.
romantic one. Oh.
Alright.
I'm not going to ask questions. But I will ask the next question. What is something you can be found doing in your free time? Listening to music, creating art, napping, working out, doing work or cleaning, reading, or playing on social media?
Oh my God. I was worried for a moment there, but the answer to what I do in my spare time thankfully wasn't on your list. but for the sake of being able to deliver an answer that is suitable for broadcast, should we just say, listen, I've made all sorts of references to getting rid of the bitch hips to play Frankenfurter, so should we go with working out?
Let's go with working out. We're up to question number 7, only a few more to go. What kind of genre do you find perfect? Horror, sci-fi, non-fiction, romantic, fantasy, erotic, or cartoon?
Oh my God. What sort of genre do I like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To watch myself, you mean?
Yeah, to
Yes.
watch yourself.
Oh. Well, I don't have to necessarily flick the television on to witness anything of an erotic nature. Look. Well, cartoons these days aren't what they were.
No.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, where is your Cool McCool? Where is your Gigantor? I'll tell you where Gigantor is. So I guess I've got to go with. Was there something there? Was there something dramatic, drama-wise? What?
There's romantic. So there's non-fiction, sci-fi, horror, romantic, fantasy, erotical cartoon.
Oh look. I mentioned earlier that I was romantic.
Yeah.
I don't really do the romantic comedies, but. Well, hang on a minute. Was there what?
Non-fiction.
Non-fiction.
Yep.
That'll do.
Yep, beautiful. All right, question number 8. Do you think of yourself as a leader? Yes, no, or in between?
A leader.
Leader.
A leader of men. A leader.
We need to get you in for Mardi Gras, I think.
Yes. Look, I would say not, because I'm far too naughty. but friends of mine seem to think, there are certain leadership qualities that are inherent in my naughtiness.
Ooh.
I know. Read into that what you will, boys.
My mind's in the gutter.
Look, maybe I should play it safe and say maybe I'm somewhere in between.
Okay. In between, perfect.
All right. Is this final question?
Question
number 9. What's your ideal first date? Something romantic and classy, something new and interesting, something passionate and sensual, something fun and creative, or something laid back?
Oh my God. Well, listen, again, you see, once upon a time, boys, as a young man, I just would have been in for something that was hot and horny straight off the bat. Thank you very much. But, like anything in life, you come to appreciate things a little bit more the older you get, I think. So, an ideal first date for me might be, these days, gosh, it's been so long since I've been on a first date. Gosh, if I'm just reflecting on my last first date, I can't remember the guy's name on Gaydar. I went and had... Anyway,
that just made the audio bite for next week's show.
That was great.
I think... look, I think something a little more relaxed these days.
Relaxed? Yeah? Something laid back?
Something, yeah.
All right, let's go with that. And the final question, what is your favourite Rocky Horror tune? Damn It, Janet, Over at the Frankenstein Place, Time Warp, Hot Patootie, Sweet Transvestite, Touch It, Touch Me, or Rose Tint My World?
They're all such crackers, aren't they? Listen, I'm going to have to say Sweet Transvestite only because I am currently the Sweet Transvestite. The truth is, outside of the quiz, we'll go for Sweet Transvestite with our questionnaire, but honest to God, I love Hot Patootie.
Yes.
Love Over at the Frankenstein Place. In fact, every night I'm on stage and I'm thinking, oh shit, I wish I had, I wish this was my song. Oh, I'd love to sing that. Every night I have a new favourite, but for the purposes of the quiz, let's go for Sweet Transvestite.
Beautiful. All right, let drum roll, please, Andrew. Let's find out which character from Rocky Horror that Craig Mclachlan should be. The survey has said Brad Majors.
Oh. Hi, I'm Brad Majors. This is my fiancée, Janet Weiss. Weiss.
There you go. Maybe you've been cast in the wrong role.
That's amazing. Do you know what, though? Funnily enough, there's part of me, certainly years ago when I did Rocky Horror first time round, a guy called Steve Kearney. Some of our listeners might remember Steve. In the 80s, there was a comedy sort of cabaret duo called Los Trios Barkus, and Steve was a member of that duo. Very, very, very funny, clever cat. And he was just wonderful in the role. And again, it was one of those things I used to watch him and go, oh, he makes Brad look so much fun. So there's been a little part of me that over the years has thought, oh, I would quite love to have a go at Brad, and I mean that in the nicest possible.
Not the same way that we'd have a go at Brad.
Speaking of having a go at Brad, Stephen May, who plays Brad currently with us, is just divine. Apart from being, a beautiful boy, he's so terrific in the role. You guys will get a real kick out of him.
I can't wait to see it. Of course, it is playing. Give us the plug. Plug your show.
Oh, yeah, look. Yeah, let me formally give you the plug.
Yes.
Rocky Horror Show. Currently playing at the Lyric Theatre in Sydney. Be there or be decidedly square. We are there Tuesday nights to Sunday nights, we get Monday night off.
Oh, that's
Monday night
nice.
off, thank God,
Yeah.
because old Dr. Bitch Hip here ain't the youngster he once was. He needs a night off. She needs to recharge the batteries with a bottle of rosé Monday night. But honestly, boys, we're having such fun. Sydney siders are coming out in style. They're frocking up. They're putting on the lippy. They're up for a party. It's such a good time.
Yeah. Craig Mclachlan, thank you so much for joining us here today on the show.
Oh, you're kidding. You'll have to have me back.
Oh, anytime
Definitely.
you like. You've got our number, give us a call.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thanks, boys.
The Andrew and Troy Show on OX Gold.
We're going to be driving you homo.